All right, Hare Krishna, welcome back, all of you, for the Bhagavad Gita study circle. So, before we begin, let's share the screen and you can all actually see the prayers, invocation prayers. So, let us all chant the invocation prayers. So, we are in the 86th session of the Bhagavad Gita study circle, and we are discussing chapter 9. So let's dedicate this session to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON and my beloved spiritual master. So please join your palms and let's all chant the pranam mantras. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravakavrinda Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanja Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hare Krishna, welcome back all of you for the Bhagavad Gita study circle. In the previous verse, we had discussed that how Krishna is calling this particular chapter, chapter 9, as Rajavidya Rajagujam. So this is a very powerful knowledge. It is the king of all knowledge. That's why it is called Rajavidya. Rajavidya doesn't mean some political knowledge or anything that is related to administration. It is all about how this specific topic in the Bhagavad Gita and across all the Vedic scriptures is very, very essence of all knowledge. So there are different types of philosophies that are promoted, which are again all based on the Vedas. We have Prabhupada explains in the purport that there is Chandilya Rishi, there is Gautama Rishi, we have Yagnavalkya. So there are different sages and rishis who have propounded different types of philosophies, varieties of philosophies. But here Krishna is saying, out of all the different philosophies that are existing, which are based on the Vedas, this is the topmost. This is Rajavidya and Rajaguyam. So this is also very secret. Why it is secret? Because although it is open secret, not everybody realizes this. That's why it is Rajaguyam. And the greatest secret is that the differentiation between the matter and spirit is so difficult for people. And especially in Kali Yuga, in our times now, where people are talking about uh, you know augmented reality, virtual reality. They are going to have so much of different types of automations and artificial intelligence and machine learning. So when people are talking about all these things, and which are actually going to eventually be a part of our daily life more and more, so in such situations it will become even more difficult for people to differentiate between matter and spirit. Because when a person is going into augmented reality, or is having those VR headsets, and he's visualizing things in that, he actually goes mad. He is disconnected from reality. So already this life itself is a dream. So we are creating another artificial dream. So it's like a dream within a dream. So that's very dangerous. So as we are progressing materially, it is becoming more and more difficult for us to differentiate between matter and spirit. So in the name of technological advancement, we are actually losing out our spiritual ground. So that should not happen. So that is why this is Rajagujam. In fact, it's going to become even more difficult for people going forward because of all these different varieties of new things that we create. And Pavitram Idam Uttamam, it is very, very pure knowledge, it is unadulterated. So Krishna is speaking now, especially in chapter 9, which is a knowledge which is unadulterated. It is pure knowledge about Krishna. Who can be more pure than Krishna? The purest person in the whole existence is Krishna. So now Krishna is giving the knowledge. Because Krishna is most pure, the knowledge which is coming out of his mouth, pure mouth, is also very pure. So Pavitram Idam Uttamam, Pratyaksha Dharmyam. We understood that how Pratyaksha, Aksha means senses. All the different senses that we have, they are also called as Aksha. Prati Aksha. Prati Aksha means, Prati means every Aksha, every sense. In every sense, there is the presence of the Lord. That is Pratyaksha. Another meaning of Pratyaksha means direct sense perception. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. These are all different direct sense perceptions that we have. That is also Pratyaksha Pramana. We say, no, okay, anything that I see, I believe. Anything I hear, I believe. Anything I taste, I believe. Anything I touch, I believe. Anything I smell, I believe. So, Pratyaksha Pramana, Pratyakshavagamam. So now Pratyaksha here, it's Upanishadic knowledge, Upanishadic terms also. Pratyaksha also refers to the Lord. It's another name of the Lord, Pratyaksha. So the process or the medium through which we can understand that Pratyaksha is Pratyaksha Dharmyam. So you can understand the medium Susukam Kartum Avyayam. And the process which is explained in this particular chapter is Susukham. Sukham is very joy and lot of joy and happiness. Susukam, it is going to give us very, very highest level of happiness, lot of joy. Susukam Kartum Avyayam. So this is the kind of knowledge that Krishna wants to share in this particular chapter. So this is Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Rajaguhya Yoga. This chapter also is called as Rajaguhya Yoga. So Let us go to the next, verse. So in this next verse, we'll try to understand some more very interesting things. Krishna is going to talk about one very important factor which is required to understand this particular knowledge. So, like I told you in the previous, this verse number 2, there are many people who think that, all right, some Mayavadis also, some level of devotion they do, and they ultimately believe that devotion is only meant unless we get liberation. After liberation, there is no devotion. We also become a part of that Supreme Lord, and we are also one with that Supreme Lord. But we should understand that real bhakti or real devotional service begins after liberation. Now, whatever we do through the sadhana is one level of uh, bhakti that we do, but actual bhakti, execution of devotional service begins when we get liberated. That is in the spiritual world. So there is no question of merging that we should clearly understand. And bhakti is very, very different from the karma yoga and jnana yoga. Karma and jnana can help you progress towards bhakti, but ultimately they should all come to bhakti, because without bhakti you cannot have that realization of personality of Godhead. Please understand, there is no experience of personality of Godhead. That faith should be there. Many people, these Mayavadis, they have certain level of faith, no doubt, but they do not have that faith that Krishna is a person, is a supreme person. So that is very difficult for people. That's why Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam. Why it is so secret? Because even people who are studying the Vedas, they do not come to this conclusion that Krishna is the supreme personality of God. It is so difficult for people to accept Krishna as a supreme person. That is why it is Rajaguhyam, very, very secret knowledge. Now we are directly getting this because we are fortunate, because one is causeless mercy of Prabhupada, that okay, he is giving us this direct knowledge and we are accepting Krishna as the supreme Lord. Not everybody comes to understanding of this Krishna consciousness so easily. It must have taken many, many lifetimes for us to come to this particular point. And then in this lifetime, then there is a mercy of Guru. It is not so easy otherwise. You see so many millions of people, they are all worshipping so many different devatas. Even they come to a point of worshipping Narayana. But accepting Krishna is not so difficult, not so easy. Not many people accept. It takes many, many bahunam janmanamante. That's what Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. It is not so easy. So we should not take this lightly. Lightly means why? Because we have now come to this point of understanding that yes, Krishna is the supreme personality of God, which is very rare. So already, in one sense, we are very rare species in this world because we have accepted Krishna as the supreme Lord. Very difficult to find people who accept this. So that is why it is Rajaguhyam. Although it is open secret, but people do not understand. So many people follow Jnana Marga, Karma Marga, but Bhakti, even in Bhakti, to accept Krishna is not so easy. So varieties of people are there. Right? That's why it is Rajaguhyam, very, very secret knowledge. So Dev, you can unmute yourself and let's chant the third verse, that is 9.3. Let me, yeah. अश्रद्धाना पुरुषा
अश्रद्धधाना पुरुषा
धर्मस्यास्य परन्तपा
धर्मस्यास्य परन्तपा
अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते
अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते
मृत्यु संसारवर्त्मनि.
मृत्युसंसारवर्त्मनि.
Once again, अश्रद्धाना पुरुषः
अश्रद्धधाना पुरुषः
धर्मस्यास्य परन्तपा
धर्मस्यास्य परन्तपा
अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते
अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते
मृत्यु संसार वर्तमनि.
मृत्यु संसार वर्त्मनि.
Okay, so let us read the translation. Please read the translation.
Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. See, Krishna is saying that those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me. So it is very, very difficult for people to come to this point. So Krishna here is saying that people with faith alone can actually attain me, can understand me, and they can understand the secrets that I'm sharing here in this knowledge. Without faith, they will simply continue in the cycle of birth and death in this material world. See, Mrityu, Samsara Sagara, they continuously continue this cycle of birth and death. So, if you want to exit from this cycle of birth and death, then what is that prerequisite that is needed? That is faith. Faith is very, very important. And we have faith in so many things, and we actually impose that faith on so many people, so many things, right? Many times when we are actually going in a bus or in a train or in a plane, when we are actually traveling, we have faith in the system, we have faith in the pilot and the driver. Do we actually go and ask anytime, oh, pilot, you please show me your license? Or we go and ask the driver, come on, you please show me your driving license, then only I'll sit into the bus. No, we have faith. When we go to the barber shop, that fellow barber is having a knife, a blade in his hand, and we peacefully sit in the barber shop and then we give our neck to him. Okay, come on, you shave. Full faith, we surrender to that barber when we are actually going to the saloon. Complete surrender to the barber, and we don't know what he will do, but still we'll sit there, and that fellow is holding a blade so close to your neck, and okay, come on, with full faith we are sitting there. See, faith is there. If you don't have faith, will you ever go to the saloon? No, nobody will go. But faith is there. See, we are using our faith. The faith is there everywhere. That faith is there. In our day-to-day life, we impose our faith on so many things and people. So Krishna is saying that you need to have faith in me. Now, what does this mean? How do we develop this faith? So Prabhupada in the purport is saying that if you want to develop faith in Krishna, then you have to associate with the devotees. Association with the devotees of Krishna will help us in developing faith in Krishna. Just see, association matters so much. When you continuously are in touch with the devotees who have full faith in Krishna, that will help us in developing faith in Krishna. That is one way, one secret. That is why I always associate with the devotees. Very, very important. Because it is helping us in developing faith. Without faith, Krishna is saying, you cannot attain me. If you have to develop faith, then go to the devotees. Just see, this is the process. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that actual faith, what does it mean? Faith means that in any situation, Krishna will protect me. In whatever situation I am, but Krishna will protect me. That is faith. He is there to look after me. Complete surrender. That yes, Krishna will take care of me. That is faith. Like the Pandavas had, like Draupadi had, like all the great devotees have, like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj. Complete faith. There is no doubt that Krishna will not protect. See, Prahlad Maharaj, just 5 years old boy, it's a great example of faith. He was thrown from the cliff. He was simply praying Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, complete faith in the Lord that this Lord will protect me. In so many ways, Hiranyakashipu tried killing his own son, but every time Prahlada had that firm faith that Krishna will protect. So we don't have to necessarily depend on anything else. Prabhupada says we don't have to depend on devatas. We don't have to depend on any other material things or people for our liberation. That exclusive faith in Lord Krishna is actually going to help us. And that will give us all protection and perfection. Nothing else is actually required. Many people who have some shaky faith on the philosophy, those are the people who actually approached the devatas. Okay, I need this. Okay, Krishna will not give immediately. Let me go to Shiva. Let me go to this particular Devi, this particular, oh, so many devatas. Why? Because they don't have that full faith that yes, Krishna can fulfill my desire. That they don't have the full faith that Krishna will automatically protect me and fulfill all the desires of the devotees. That faith is not there. So such people, they we cannot call them that they are devotees, fully, completely surrendered devotees. So Prabhupada further explains in this purport that there are different types of people with different levels of faith. There are three categories of devotees. There is a third class, second class, and a first class. Kanishta Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. So the Kanishta Bhakta, he doesn't have full faith, neither he has full scriptural knowledge, shastric knowledge. So such people actually tend to fall down from the path of devotional service. Many times they are doing devotional service. Many times when we go to the temple, when we are in the temple, we see there are a lot of bhaktas, devotees, they come, but they don't have that full conviction on Krishna. They don't have that backup of spiritual knowledge, knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, which actually increases the faith. So when they don't have that shastric knowledge, that firm faith will not come. When they are not associating with the devotees completely with full surrenderance, that faith will not come. And such devotees, Kanishta Adhikaris or Kanishta Bhaktas, they tend to fall down. They come for some time, they stay there for some time, they do little bhakti, but after some time they feel, okay, this is too much, this is not for me. They get back to their regular material life. So these are Kanishta Bhaktas, no faith. So such people fall down and they go away sometimes. Then there is Madhyama Adhikari. So Madhyama, he although he has no complete scriptural knowledge, shastric knowledge may be little there, but not be complete shastric knowledge, but he has firm faith that yes, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He will protect me and I should serve Krishna. That firm faith is there automatically. So such a person is Madhyamadhikari. Although scriptural shastric knowledge is not complete, but he has firm faith in Krishna. Then there is Uttamadhikari. Now, Uttamadhikari is one who has complete faith in Krishna and he has full scriptural knowledge. Not just scriptural knowledge, but he also has realized knowledge. So that is Uttamadhikari, topmost. Such devotees, the first class, Uttamadhikari and Madhyamadhikari, they don't fall down from the position of devotional service. They do not fall down from the path. They do not deviate from the path of devotional service. That is very, very important. So we should gradually move from Kanishta Bhakta to Madhyama and then Uttama. That is a process. That is why Krishna consciousness, why we follow, because this process is designed in such a way that it will take us from Kanishta Bhakta to Uttama Bhakta, Uttamadhikari. That is why following the process is so important. Prabhupada has designed this process so neatly, so nicely, so comfortably, which is Susukham Kartum Avyayam. It is very joyfully performed, so that we move very blissfully from the Kanishta Bhakta to Uttama Bhakta. And that is actually how one is determined whether it's Kanishta or Uttama based on his faith. How much faith do you have? That decides whether you are Kanishta or Madhyama or you are a Uttama Bhakta. So that faith is required. Lot of faith is required. So many times when big challenges come in life, big problems come in life, do we actually have that faith that yes, Lord will protect us always? That is a test for all of us to check our own faith in Krishna. When big challenges come, very trying times will come, testing times will come. In each one of us, like everybody will go through some situations in life where we go through some very great difficulties. So in such situations, our faith in Krishna will be tested, and that decides whether you are Kanishta, Madhyama, or Uttama, right? So ultimately our goal should be that I should reach to Uttama Adhikari, right? So that should be our goal. So Krishna is saying that you need to have faith to understand me, and if you don't have faith, then you will simply continue in the cycle of birth and death. Just see, faith is one that can actually help us get rid of the cycle of birth and death. Faith in Krishna. Okay, so this is very clear. So he is now telling everyone, including Arjuna, that you need to have faith in me, and I will protect you. Avashya Rakshive Krishna. Avashya, Krishna will definitely protect. See, surrender. Anybody who surrenders to Krishna, it is promise of Krishna that he will protect them. That faith we should have, and he never breaks his promises like that. He's That is Krishna's promise, right? So we have to have that faith. So Hina Mataji, you can unmute yourself and let us chant the next verse. That is verse. If I- Maya tatam idam sarvam
ततम् इदं सर्वम्
jagad avyaktamurtina
जगत् अव्यक्तमूर्तिना
matstani sarvabhutani
मतस्थानि सर्वभूतानि
chaham dveshavas.
न चाहं तेष्व अवस्थिता.
Once again, maya tatam
मया ततम् इदं सर्वम्
jagad avyaktamurtina matstani sarvabhutani
मतस्थानि सर्वभूतानि
chaham deshavas.
न चाहं तेष् अवस्थिता.
Wonderful. Please read it.
By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji,
Hare
this is confusing
This is confusing.
because he's saying I am not in them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll understand this. So here, Krishna, this is a very interesting verse again to ponder upon. Maya tatam idam sarvam. Everything that is there in this whole creation, material and spiritual, Krishna is saying that I pervade everywhere. So I'm omnipresent. You talk about anything and I'm omnipresent. So Mayadam idam sarvam, I am present everywhere. Sarvam Jagat Avyaktamurtina. What does it mean now? Jagat Avyaktamurtina. Sarvam Jagat Idam Tatam. I mean, I am completely pervading all the material universes, the whole Jagat, but in what way? In Avyaktamurtina. So, let us understand this word, Avyakta. Then I think whatever question, doubts we have, we'll get some clarity on this. Avyakta. Vyakta means that which is visible to us, that which we can perceive through our material senses, especially the eyes. Avyakta means that which we cannot perceive through our material eyes. So Krishna is saying, I am present everywhere, but you cannot see me. Many times people say, no, oh, God is present everywhere. If God is present everywhere, then why can't we see him everywhere? Isn't it? He's everywhere, but we are not able to see him. Why? Because Krishna is saying, Avyakta Murtina. I am present there, but in what form? In Avyakta Murtina. What is Avyakta? How do we understand this? Let us understand what we see. What do we see? This is a little philosophical thing now. We are able to see everything material, that which is created, that which is created. Anything comes into creation, our material eyes can see that. For example, see, this is a mobile. This mobile is created. So when this mobile is created, my material eyes can see it. So you take anything that you see around you, you are able to see that because it is created. So anything that comes into creation, I can see that, right? And anything that is created has also destruction. So that which comes into creation is also destroyed at some point of time. So anything that is created and which is going to be destroyed is what my eyes can see. So I am able to see only those things which are created. But Lord is not created. Lord is always there. That's why Avyakta. Why is he calling himself as Avyakta? Because he is never created and he is not going to be destroyed. He has a spiritual form. So because he has that spiritual form, which is neither created nor which is going to destroyed, we are unable to see him, although he is present everywhere. He is present everywhere. I'm not able to perceive because my eyes can perceive only that which is created. And all that which is not created, I cannot see. Just see. And Lord is not created. How can I see him now? You're understanding the point, the philosophical point? So this is a very important point. Avyakta. This is Upanishadic code. Actually, this is a language of the Upanishads. In the Upanishads, the Lord is not mostly called as Govinda, Gopala, Krishna, Rama, O Damodara. In Upanishads, you will not find these names too much. Sometimes Vishnu and Narayana, that too very rarely it is found. Mostly, if you see in Upanishads, the Lord is addressed as Avyakta, Atma, Brahma. These kind of words are used to refer to the Lord. It's very difficult. Why it is difficult? Because Krishna wants it that way. Because if you, it's not very easy. You cannot understand. You cannot. You can. It's difficult to understand Krishna because he's infinite. Even now, in this study of Bhagavad Gita, we should never think that okay, I have understood Krishna. You have understood only a little bit. We all have understood only a little bit. He is infinite. We cannot understand him completely. That is the nature of the Lord. So, Avyakta Murtina. Avyakta means this is how, because the Lord is Avyakta, He is neither created nor destroyed, we cannot see Him. Because our eyes can see only that which is created. Avyakta. So, He pervades everywhere. Everywhere His presence is there. But He will reveal his presence only to those who have that spiritual consciousness, that spiritual vision. Those devotees like Prabhupada, they can see Krishna everywhere. That is the power of the pure devotees. When Prabhupada goes to America, he sees Krishna everywhere. Everywhere his presence is felt. Prabhupada, like devotees, they never distinguish between America or India or Japan or Africa. Nothing. There's no distinction between any of these things for pure devotees. They see Krishna everywhere because Krishna reveals to them because they have a spiritual vision. So if you develop spiritual vision, you can see Krishna everywhere. Then you can see that Avyakta. So that Avyakta doesn't mean that he does not have form. He has the form that Krishna Prabhupada will explain in the purport later. We'll understand that point also. So you got this point, right? Avyakta means that which is beyond birth and death. But we cannot see, we can see only that which comes into creation and that which is going to be destroyed in due course of time. That is our limitation of our vision. That is why Krishna is saying, I am avyakta. That's why I'm unmanifest. Like you cannot see me. It's like, when sometimes when people are ghostly haunted, the ghost is inside, and that person is behaving like a crazy person, and he disturbs everybody. When a person is haunted with ghost, now you go and say, no, I want to see the ghost. How can you see the ghost? The ghost is within, and that person is acting in very vichitra, they say vichitra, very difficult to understand. But you see, his behavior has changed. Due to his behavior, we understand he's ghostly haunted. Oh, this person, he was not like that, but he's behaving like this because he's ghostly haunted. Is haunted by a ghost. So we don't see the ghost, but because the behavior is such, we understand that he is ghostly haunted. So similarly, it's a very crude example, but the Lord, we are unable to see him, but his presence is felt if we understand the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita. If we see carefully everything around us beautifully, like in your own house, you have some flower pots and other things. You see the manifestation of the flower. That itself shows us that the presence of Krishna is there. It's not so easy. So, avyaktamurtina matstani sarvabhutani. So, like I told you, there are, when we have this matstani sarvabhutani, when Krishna is saying that, I give shelter to everyone, I give ashraya to everything. Everything actually rests upon me. So, just like when you take a mud pot, now you fill water into it. The water actually takes the shelter of the pot, isn't it? The water in a pot takes ashraya of the pot. That's why it's contained within that. So, does it mean that Lord also takes ashraya of anything that is matter? We have to ask this question. Some people may ask this question. Oh, Lord also may take ashraya of the prakriti that is around. But Krishna is saying, no, I am independent. In fact, I give ashraya to everybody. So, in our life also, you know, we take shelter, ashraya of so many things. Like we take ashraya of the air that we breathe. Without air, we cannot exist. So, air, water, this body also, we take ashraya of this body, because to execute all our devotional service, any activity that we do, we take ashraya of this body. We take ashraya of water, we take ashraya of air, food, right? Fire. There are so many things that we take ashraya, shelter. We take shelter. They are all called upajivya. Upajivya means we depend on them. Our existence is dependent on them. That is what it means. Ashraya means to be dependent on something. We are dependent on all these things. Now, does Lord also is dependent on something like this? The question may arise. Krishna is saying that I am not dependent on anything. In fact, all these water, fire, air, everything is dependent on me. I give ashraya to them. That is the difference. It is not that now without air we cannot exist. Just few seconds enough. Within a minute we will die without air. But for Krishna, it's not like that. Without air, he can still exist. So this needs to be understood. So I'm sitting on this chair. You are all sitting on a chair. This chair, I'm not dependent on, my existence is not dependent on this chair. If chair is not there, we'll sit on the floor, isn't it? So this chair is not upajivya. It is not upajivya. Air is upajivya. Water is upajivya. That's all required for our existence. But for Krishna, even those things are not required. Doesn't feel hungry. He's lying on the milk ocean, not because he's hungry. Okay, anytime I feel hungry, I'll take some milk from the milk ocean and I'll drink it. It's not like that. Many people may think that, okay, he has created a milk ocean because anytime he feels hungry, he will just take little milk and he will drink it and he'll exist like that. No, he's not existing because of the milk ocean. In fact, the milk ocean is existing because of Krishna. Krishna doesn't is not feeling sleepy that he needs Ananta Shayana. He needs Ananta as a bed for him. Okay, I want to sleep. Ananta, you come and become my bed, and I'm feeling very sleepy. I'll sleep for some time. No, Krishna doesn't want any of these things. Krishna doesn't need Lakshmi Devi also. He says, why do I need Lakshmi? See, I don't. If we have to beget children, we need one woman. A female is required for creating a child. But for Krishna, it's not like that. Krishna, oh, I want to create sun and moon. I'll create it from my eyes. Okay, I want to create Brahma. I'll create it from Navi. Just see, Krishna is just creating Brahma from his Navi. He doesn't need Lakshmi Devi to create all these things. He's completely self sufficient. He's not dependent at all on any of these things. So these are certain things we should know and understand about the Lord. So there is no factor that Krishna is dependent on. He's completely independent. He doesn't take shelter of anybody, anything. In fact, he gives shelter to all that is material and spiritual. This is the difference that we should know. So now coming to the question that oh, Krishna is saying that I am pervading everywhere, I am in everyone. Just see, everybody is, see, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. This is what is confusing, right? All beings are in me because the whole existence is within Krishna. Because when Mahavishnu exhales, we know all the universes like bubbles, they come out of his skin, pores. So everything is existing within Krishna. That is understood. But I am not in them. What does this mean? In this Avyakta Murtina, his energies are working. When he is present, his energies are working. He is present, his presence is felt in the unmanifest form. For example, Prabhupada gives a very nice example here. Like a king is there, he has a government. He has lot of energies. Let us take example of our prime minister. Our prime minister is there, and he has so many departments. There is water department, there is defense department, there is electricity department, there is transport department. There are so many different departments, and there are different people employed, and everybody is all an extension or expansion of the prime minister's energies. So when there is something that has to happen in Mumbai or Calcutta or anything, it is not necessary that actually the president or the prime minister has to be personally present. His energies will take care. Not every function or every activity the prime minister has to go and be there and give his personal presence. No, not required. One order is enough from the top in Delhi. He gives one order and everything is executed across India. That is the expansion of his energies. So similarly, when Krishna is saying that all beings are in me, he has control over everything, but I'm not in them, which means that personally I need not be everywhere, but my energies are there. My energies are working everywhere. So this is what we have to understand. Now that doesn't mean that as Paramatma is not there within us. As Paramatma is personally present in every being, in every atom. When he says that I'm not in them, it means that in every activity, personal form of the Lord. Personal form of the Lord means Krishna as the person need not be present everywhere. His energies are means what? His expansions. What are his expansions? Again, this is a very detailed study. Krishna is the original person. From Krishna, there are expansions, quadruple expansions, like Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudeva. All these are expansions. Then there are secondary expansions. Then after the secondary quadruple expansions, then there are Mahavishnu. Then there is then there's Kshirodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, right? Like that, expansions of Krishna are there. Then there is Paramatma expansion. So Krishna as the original person need not be present everywhere. His energies, Mahavishnu, Kshirodakshay Vishnu, all these different energies, expansions will take care. That is what he means here. I am not in them means Krishna as two-handed form of Krishna need not be personally present everywhere. His energies, his different expansions are taking care of everything. Right? So hope this gives you a little clarity on how all beings are in me, including his expansions. Krishna has a lot of expansions. Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, all these different expansions of Vishnu are all within Krishna. And these expansions are in turn creating all these different things. So in material expansions or material creation that we see, his energies, his expansions only take care. Krishna need not be personally present everywhere in two-handed form. That is what he means. Hope this gives some clarity here. So his energies are working. He is the king. Krishna is the king. He is there in Golokurandavana. And all these affairs of the material creation are taken care by Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu and his expansions. All this Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, they are expanding and they are taking care of all the material, uh, uh, you know, creation, destruction, everything. All these material affairs are taken care of by Vishnu forms. Krishna as 200 form is simply enjoying there. He is simply enjoying in the Golok Vrindavan. He doesn't get involved in all these things. So, although his presence is expanded everywhere, he is not personally present in each and every activity. This is what we should understand. Okay? So, now why this is coming here in ninth chapter? Because Krishna is personally speaking. Krishna is telling to Arjuna, Arjuna, all this creation, destruction, all this manifestation and manifestation, I am not bothered. My expansions are taking care. So, although everything is resting upon me, I am not personally present everywhere. That's what I am not in them. I am enjoying in Golok Vrindavana. That is what he means. Right? So,
Yes,
so this
Prabhuji,
is,
thank you.
yes. So in fact, there are more details when we understand about when Krishna also comes to this personally to this material world when he takes birth. It is not that Krishna's as original person he comes from because Krishna never leaves Goloka Vrindavana. What comes there from Krishna his only one hair, Krishna Kesha and Shukla Kesha. Balram comes as Shukla Kesha and Krishna, the black hair of Krishna, they descend as Krishna hair. And Krishna's hair is not different from Krishna. Krishna's nail is not different from Krishna. So that one hair of Krishna comes here to this material world as Krishna and he performs all these leelas, non different from Krishna. But there is original when Krishna comes to material world doesn't mean that Golok Vrindavan is empty. No, Krishna is still personally present. He never leaves Golok Vrindavan in the spiritual world. He's always there. But his some expansion will come here to this material world, which are as good as Krishna, and they perform all these leelas. So there are a lot of things like this which come we should understand. So
Prabhuji,
yes, Mataji.
can I ask something relating to this?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Actually, Prabhuji, as you mentioned, just one hair of Krishna when it comes in the form of another expansion on the earth. I had heard that, the actual Lord Krishna in his form comes only in once in one Manvantara or something like that.
one day of Brahma.
So at that time only once it comes. So once he comes in his full expansion, is that true?
Yes.
So
So
does it mean that when he was present in the Dwapar Yuga, which just went before our this Kali Yuga, that was the
yes,
full expansion, which is only once in the one day of Brahma.
yes, once in a day of Brahma.
So that means this is the time actual. This was the maybe we were fortunate to have that in this particular time, this particular Chatur Yuga.
Yeah. Yes, it was very close to our presence actually. Just 5,000 years ago, it was very close. When we compare the lifespan of Brahma, this 5,000 years is nothing. It is nothing actually from the calculation from the Brahma's time point of view, it is very, very less. 5,000 years is nothing. So we are that, in that sense, we were very close to Krishna's birth. And not just that, we are even more fortunate because after Krishna, then there is avatar of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which again happens only once in day of Brahma, and that was just 500 years ago. So you can imagine that we are very, very fortunate because we are coming in touch with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is again a combination of Radha and Krishna. So we are very, 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 very fortunate because we are getting in touch with this Sankirtan movement. Sankirtan movement is not always there throughout the day of Brahma. It was initiated before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There was no Sankirtan movement. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Namo Maha Vadanyaya, right? He is most magnanimous. He is most merciful. He easily gives Krishna to everyone. That's why he's called Namo Mahavadanyaya. So we are very fortunate to come in touch with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and which is again very close, just 500 years ago, and Krishna appeared just 5,000 years ago. So we have to take advantage of this particular time frame that we are in and exit. We should not even think of again next life or anything like that. Just exit this material world. So yes, you are right. We are very, very fortunate.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. So good. It was a nice question, and we have many more wonderful things to discuss in the upcoming verses because this is most confidential knowledge. So in the next session, we will continue from verse number 5, and there is very, very interesting things about Krishna which he is going to reveal himself in this particular chapter. So, Bhagavad Gita study, this is what we have discussed today. And at 11 o'clock, I had shared a message. We have the very nice book that is Sing, Dance and Pray, which is going to be launched today. So thank you, Vinodji. Thank you for joining. So you can all try to attend if possible because these are very special events. Such events bring all of us very close to Prabhupada, and pure devotee means increasing our faith in Krishna. When you associate and hear about pure devotee, our faith increases. So this event will go live on ISKCON Bangalore. I have shared the link. You can check. There are some distinguished guests that are going to join us. So you can participate and you can see. This is very, very special book also. So this is one event that is going to happen at 11 o'clock in ISKCON Bangalore. So this is one thing, and you can attend this session at 11. At this, another thing that I wanted to mention was about the Vrindavan Yatra that is in plan. So you can let me know when are the school holidays and college holidays. Generally during Dasra there will be some holidays. If you can let me know that, then with Kartik month we can try to see which are the best dates, and we will plan accordingly. So let me know when are the Dasra holidays and when is the best time during October, November. Then I will also plan accordingly. So if you know me, let me know the holidays, school holidays and all college holidays. Then that'll be easy for us to plan. So that is another thing about Vrindavan trip, Vrindavan Yatra. So, all right then. So, with all this, please take care, all of you, and you can keep chanting and keep reading Bhagavad Gita whenever possible, and please associate with the devotees whenever possible. And we will meet again next Sunday. Until then, please take care. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, you can always type them in the group, and we will try to answer them. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Vinodji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Dev. Hare Krishna.